Time for another trip and another film. So thanks for joining us. This is Westcapades. My name's Jake. We are going north. In fact, we're going northwest to the far northwest of Scotland. I'm not going to tell you where because I don't like giving away fishing spots. And when I do, not that I do often, I get a lot of grief for it in the comments as well. So I'm going to take you through some of the kit because Dave's late as usual. So he's on his way in the van. So I thought I'd just talk you through some of the kit that I'll be taking with me. We've got quite a lot of kit this time. This is the kitchen box, so we're going to be camping for 4 nights. We're going to be spearfishing, we're going to be fishing off the rocks. I was going to take the boat, decided not to in the end. So we've got all our camping and kitchen stuff here. We've got coals, Green Olive Firewood Company, of course, keeping me well stocked for cooking. We've got kiln dried hardwoods from Green Olive Firewood as well. Thank you very, very much for them for supporting my adventures right the way throughout all this. So we've got something for water. Now, we're not only going sea fishing, but there's a little bit that we're going to where we can literally cast one way into the sea, and if you turn around you can cast into a little hill lock behind you as well. So the little trout net's coming with me. I've got my spear gear, the dive gear, GoPro stick as well, so I can at least share some footage with you. I've got my fins, I've got some extra logs, I've got the dry robe, I've got the wetsuit, I've got the stand for the rods as well, and that's not it. Dave is going to freak when he sees how much kit I've got. Come and have a look. All of this. So, clothes, table, boots, general day-to-day kit. 4 rods, of course I need 4 rods. This bag is full of camp stuff, obviously a pillow. I'm getting on a bit now, so I need pillow, home comforts. We've got Dave's birthday present. I can tell you what that is actually, because I'm going to give it to him when he gets here. It's a little barbecue, so that'll be really good. He's recently got a van that he's converting, so I've got him a little barbecue to keep in the van. We've got fishing tackle. Here's a little Myrtle. Here's Logie. They're not coming. And this big box is all my electrical stuff for filming. So I've got cameras in there, GoPros, drones, and that's it. We're done. So that is my home for the night. That is his home for the night. And that it's a bit breezy, but it's absolutely breathtaking. I love it. I love it. I love it. Ross has been trying to get us here for about 4 or 5 years now. He used to come here as a kid, a teenager. He used to spearfish here and fish the local area. And we've said for ages, we've said for years that we'll come, and this year we've just committed to coming. So we've just arrived literally about an hour ago. We've put the tents up and we've come down to the local jetty just to see what's about. He's caught and speared big pollock here before. He's seen wrasse under here, and apparently there's a really, really big conger under here as well. So we can only try. But do you know what? Even if we don't get anything tonight, I don't mind. Look at this. A bit windy today, but we're all right. We're fishing, so we're happy. Well, wasn't quite what we were hoping for to begin with, but there's no blank, at least. This little guy's going to be going back.
He's angry. He's super angry. He's got tiny little eyes in his guys.
I think that is a young spoiler crab.
I think it probably is. Well, only just as it came in, I kind of touched it on the bottom. Good morning. Morning of the first full day, arrived yesterday afternoon, a couple of hours fishing in, which you'll have seen. Had a pretty good night last night actually. The tent was a bit flappy in the wind, but I had the earplugs, managed to get some sleep, and I hope you can hear me now. The wind's kind of increased a bit overnight. It's not looking good for spearfishing or fishing on this side of the peninsula here where we are. I'll show you in a second. I think we're going to go about a mile away, just over the other side of a peninsula. First time the Beanies had an outing this, well, since spring anyway. So we're going to go over to the other side of the peninsula. We'll see what it's like over there, but it should be a bit more sheltered. But this is our view this morning. Great little campsite here. I'll put the link to the campsite and the pub just up at the top of the campsite. It's super, really helpful. It's a team that run it all. But this is it. This is, I mean, you can't wake up to much better than this in the mornings. But this guy says we've got about a mile walk from where we park to the little secret bay. Can't tell you where it is or what the name is. But he's been bigging this up for quite a long time now.
God, pressure. As if I need this today. Like.
So we're taking the spearfishing stuff, we're taking the beach fishing stuff as well, so we've got quite a lot of kit to take. I've got 7 kilos on the waist, ready for a mile walk. We've got all this kit to be taken as well. As soon as we got in the water, we felt it pulling us out. We were in for about maybe 20 minutes. Visibility was really poor, but you know, we had a bit of a struggle. It was really hard, sort of fighting against the wind, and it was pretty much pushing us out to sea. So we all made sure to keep an eye on each other as best as we could. Dave and I were just about to have a dive. We were going to film and go down for scallops. And then we realised that this guy, who was about 20 or 30 metres away from us, was in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, so main moral of the story is make sure you always dive with buddies. I was out there, as Jake said, offshore wind. My goggles had steamed up, I lost complete situational awareness. I couldn't see where the shore was, so I went to get a bit of water into the goggles to try and clear the fog out of them. As I did that, I took basically a mouthful of water, and I practically drank a mouthful of seawater. I had the wind in my face, the waves were kind of lapping away. I tried to obviously get my breath back and then took in another load of water. And I thought, right, I'm obviously not managing to breathe out the snorkel in. So I managed to get the snorkel back into my mouth, clear that out, and as I went, and at this point I'm now sort of really needing a breath, I sort of kind of got my head down so I could just use the snorkel instead of trying to have my head on the surface. And that just went under, and I ended up taking a third mouthful of water. At that point, I was completely out of breath. I was managing to stay on the surface, but I still didn't know where I was. I managed to see Dave just out the corner of my eye, and I just did the right thing and asked for help.
Moral of the story, do not dive alone. Have a dive buddy, have Overwatch, and make sure you've got an escape plan. And if it's an offshore wind, just be wary, be cautious.
Yeah, no, if it wasn't for these two, if I was in there myself, no, I'd still be out there right now. Yeah, just really be careful with what you're doing. And when you see that it's starting to go a bit south, just do the right decision and go, right, let's bail. And that's what we did. So
Don't push it, look after your mates.
That's the closest I've been to drowning, basically.
So, after our little scare at sea, we have regrouped, got the fishing gear ready, and we're now heading across the other side of the bay to try and find a good fishing spot for the afternoon. Obviously the spear fishing wasn't a complete success, so I'm going to try and turn things around a little bit and hopefully land some fish from the shore. So I think everybody's tired after that. Quite emotionally draining when something happens like that. We're going to head along here and find a bit to sit, eat, and just gather ourselves, I think, after that one.
There she is. Yes! Yes! That's a big bass as well. It's lovely. Well done.
So you can see Ross's lure has been in the waters. It's put bait elastic around it just so it stays on the hook. Well, that's caught some big fish today, mate.
Yeah, Sanders Keep. Happy with that.
Been a good day. Now, because Ross is laden down with fish, we'll see whether he actually makes it over this bridge again. This is the long haul back. I tell you, a mile doesn't seem like that much, but when you're tired, you got wetsuits and a good few fish, Ross.
Oh yeah.
It makes the old bones weary. We'll get there. on then, let's go for a walk. Well, it's going to be an interesting night. We had a really good day's fishing today. Ross's little mishap aside, we got onto the rocks on the left-hand side of the bay, the north side of the bay. And we didn't think it was going to be good because it was the only bit of the bay that was sheltered from the wind. So we thought we'd give it a go anyway, and it turned out to be absolutely amazing. So we had bass, we had coley, we had pollock, and really two good sized pollock as well. So they're going to be dinner tomorrow, I think. But a really good afternoon. Sorry, you can see I'm getting buffeted by the tent here with the wind coming in tonight. There's an absolute storm raging outside. But yeah, the fishing was amazing this afternoon. We couldn't have asked for any better. We all caught fish, we all caught bass, which is really cool. Catching bass this far north in Scotland, it's just too cold. So, you know, to get them in numbers here is great. So we're going to bed down for the night. Hopefully, well, I've got earplugs, so hopefully we'll get some sleep. Ross's tent keeps open and the zip just blows open, so we'll see whether he's still dry in the morning, but for now it's going to be lights out. Right, Dave, talk me through what you've got here.
Well, these kind friends of mine, Jake and Ross, thank you very much, have chipped in to buy me some small barbecue accessories. Grown-up barbecue accessories, as you can see, and so we've gone along to the Murdoch Brothers and got some Cumberland sausages to cook on the fire for breakfast. It was quite a windy night last night. We're all quite hungry, so yeah, now is the time to get cooking. What we're finding is the sausage weight is so significant that mechanical adjustments are required to get this cooking underway. Woo! It's harder than it looks.
Right, so final day. The weather's a bit better. We made it through the night and the sun's out, but there are squalls that keep on coming through, so I'm going to try and get it set up before the next squall comes in.
Red gurnet's my target fish, and this will probably be the last attempt that I have at it. So I'm going for like literally these little shrimp feathers with bait on. So little things like that. I'm going to attach just little bits of bait in this kind of manner, and hopefully the red garnet will go for it. We had a look at the terrain. Dave's already in the water actually at the minute, and we've had a look at the terrain down there, but we believe that the bottom's kind of sandy, stony sort of bottom, so that's what we're going to aim for, and that's what I'm going to focus on right now. Just getting my red garnet and at least kind of getting second place to
First cast with the feathers. And we are into one chunky mackerel. That is an absolute whopper. What an enormous mackerel.
Well done, Dave.
Very happy with that. Look at that. Amazing. Well, that's tea tonight anyway, and that was the first cast, so they're obviously in. Look, dead low tide as well.
It's a big starfish. Are we going to add to the species list, Jake?
Might do. There's a little bit of weight. There might be a little kick on it as well, so I'm thinking it might be a fish.
Yes, we've got a flatty.
species, well, point number 15. Very happy with that.
Maybe on a lost cause here. But I'll certainly be casting it back out to the same spot. Ah, tell a lie. We might have my next species. What is that? There we go. Number 6. Literally just as that hit the bottom.
Right, so I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Wescapades. We've had an absolute blast, quite literally in the tents, because Ross's nearly got blown over, mine was wet inside, and I think Dave slept like a log last night, which is probably the only one that's not looking dog tired.
I feel like I slept on a log last night. I think it was.
The scenery here that we're going to finish on a high is just so dramatic. You just cannot beat the north or the northwest coast of Scotland. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to see more of this, please like and subscribe. It's not just something we say, it genuinely does help us. So just click down below for us, and we will see you next time.